So, starting point number one is a theme that you're going to hear with both Dr. Kuba and myself is you could be the smiliest, friendliest person on the planet, but if you don't know the details and aren't prepared for your patient appointment, what's the point? Don't be friendly and dumb. Be friendly and prepared. Hashtag new slogan. Don't be friendly and dumb. So you want to show your patient that you've been prepared for their appointment. There's nothing more satisfying than arriving for an appointment and they seem prepared and are prepared throughout the appointment. And so to me, a morning huddle is the best way to make sure that we're prepared. But we need to be prepared for the huddle. We don't do all of our preparation in the huddle. That would have to be like a 1 hour huddle. You do your homework ahead of time to ensure that you're bringing the right information to the huddle. Now, I know not everybody can do a morning huddle. It may end up being an afternoon huddle, or maybe you do a once a week huddle where you're looking at the entire week. I don't care about the frequency. The point is that huddle is our accountability to show that we've been prepared for this patient's appointment. So there's a lot of things that should happen before huddle. And we want to just kind of mention a few of the things that we call chart prep. Whatever you want to call it, it means you're going through every single patient and preparing for their visit. So, what are some of the things you would suggest in that process?
I know for me personally, and I wish everybody on the team did this, and I know many do, but I know many don't. Um, and I think at least it's the most effective for me. I personally will click on not only the appointment notes for the day. So I will, for example, if a patient's coming in for recare, then I look back at the previous note. What does it say for next visit? And hopefully we left ourselves some good breadcrumbs to know what we need to do at this visit. So that's an important part of the details. For example, for today's appointment, you come in for your recare. I need to pay attention to what did we do and what needs to be done next time. So in our office, for example, do we need a pano next time? Do we need to send to the orthodontist next time? Are we watching a mesiodens and it's time to send to the oral surgeon next time? Do we need to probe at today's visit or not? So all of those kinds of little details we will go ahead and put in our next visit note so that chart prep becomes easier going forward. You're going to spend the time either way, and it's going to be quicker if you've already been sitting with that patient, you've already had their notes up and ready. It's going to be easier to get those details onto the next visit note now rather than 6 months later to go, oh yeah, what did she need again? And now I have to go back and dig through everything. It's kind of inefficient. So making sure that you've left yourself some good breadcrumbs with some good next visit notes. So I will glance at the last visit just to kind of get a quick idea. Were there any things that we were supposed to follow up on? What were mom's questions last time, etc.? Did we leave where we have like chief concern for the visit? I might glance at that to go, okay, was this a pending concern? So if you haven't been good about your next visit notes, this may take kind of a cycle of time of this patient coming to get better with that. But so I start there. I also always look at the appointment notes. Why are they coming in that day? Sometimes I can just tell from the appointment note from what's written down. If it says two bite wings, two PAs, that to me it's like, okay, this is a regular recare appointment. So maybe I don't always double click on that appointment note. To me, the appointment note again, meaning whoever scheduled the appointment, when was it scheduled? Did mom call and have any concerns for the visit that she relayed to the front? Um, so that's all part of that. And then I also always look at the paperwork. I look at the medical history update because that is where we ask about does the parent have any concerns for the visit that day. So to me, it looks really good if I've gone ahead and looked at that, and again, assuming that that 50% did their paperwork, because a lot of times they don't. But even before I step into the appointment, I like to look to see were there any concerns for the visit. For example, the other day we had a dad that his comment was, I want to discuss the overlap teeth. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, where are we with this kid's growth and development? And I was able to go back, and while she's getting her x-rays taken, I'm going back and I'm looking at that. Have we ever recommended? Do we agree the teeth are overlapping? Did she have permanent teeth before? Did we give them any heads up that this was going to be something we anticipated? And I look at our notes, and the last like two visits, Mom has been the one to bring, and we know that because we document that in our notes. And my last note says that I strongly recommended seeing the orthodontist for phase one evaluation. Is the patient a candidate or not? And mom's words were, I'm on board, but dad isn't. Well, then here you go. Here's dad. So for me, to keep up with the efficiency of our day, I can already, when the assistant is done taking x rays and I'm about to go into the appointment to do the exam, I can say, go ahead and start chatting with dad about what his concerns are and what he thinks the solutions are. And then we can pepper in how we have talked about this before. Now, am I going to mention the part that, well, you're the roadblock, sir? Of course, I'm not going to mention that, but it preps me for going, okay, he's here and let's hear what his concerns are because those were mom's words.